Greetings everyone, it's Kaz here, and today I'm discussing some incredibly shocking news in the video game industry that has just broken as of today when I'm recording this video. And this is some honestly really shocking and also incredibly surprising stuff. And that is the fact that a former Naughty Dog developer has alleged that he was sexually abused when he worked for the studio. And this is something that we really have never seen in our industry before, and obviously it's pretty shocking stuff, especially coming from Naughty Dog of all developers, the highest caliber of developer in our industry, and perhaps the very best video game developer not only in the world, but perhaps up there with one of the greatest developers of all time. And for a lot of people, including myself, really could never see Naughty Dog doing any wrong. They were always an incredible company, it seemed from the outside. It always seemed like they were doing the right things, and to hear something like this to have perhaps occurred is just, I honestly don't know what to think. I'm kind of lost for words, to be honest. It certainly surprised me and took me very much by surprise when I saw it this morning on Twitter. So the developer in question is David Ballard, who had 2 stints at Naughty Dog, one from February 2009 till August of 2014, where he then worked as an environmental artist for the studio. He then returned to the company in May of 2015 till March of 2016, where in that time he worked as a multiplayer level designer, I assume for Uncharted 4. So it's been over a year since he departed from the studio, but I guess we'd never really heard about why this happened, because only today has he revealed exactly what transpired at the studio regarding his departure. Here's what he revealed today on Twitter. In late 2015, I was sexually harassed at Naughty Dog by a lead. My work environment became extremely toxic afterward. In February 2016, I had a mental breakdown at work, and Sony PlayStation HR became involved. When I told them about the harassment, they ended the call and fired me the next day. They cited the company was moving forward in a different direction and my job was no longer needed. They tried to silence me by offering $20,000 if I signed a letter agreeing to the termination, as well as not to discuss it with anyone. I declined to sign. I've been unemployed for 17 months since. When interviewers asked me about why I left Naughty Dog, I said I was burned out by the crunch, ashamed to get to the root of the problem of being sexually harassed. I'm speaking out now because of the strength I've seen in others coming forward about their experiences in the TV/film industry. This is the hardest thing I've ever done. I will not let anyone kill my drive or love for the video game industry, my passions, or life. That is some strong stuff, ladies and gentlemen, and it also revealed some relatively interesting details. Now, first of all, I just want to say that I am deeply sorry for what happened to David. This is absolutely horrendous for anything like this to occur to anyone at any point throughout their life. It's just an absolutely horrendous thing, and it's something I could never comprehend, and I just want to sincerely apologise, and I really do hope he can get his passion back for the industry, like he said, and he's able to find employment elsewhere after this. So this obviously clearly affected him mentally to a pretty bad degree. He mentioned that the individual who committed this atrocity was a lead at the studio, which, as we know, would naturally narrow down perhaps who did this, but I don't want to try and point fingers. I don't want to necessarily try and discuss who did this, but we're no doubt going to get more information on this as time progresses, no doubt. Some people may be asking why he's come out and said this now, and the reason for that, like he mentioned, was because of the recent experiences and the recent things happening in the TV/film industry, and he was of course referring to the recent sexual allegations that have been going on in Hollywood at the moment as of late. One of the major things I really took from this was the fact that Sony and PlayStation tried so hard to cover this up, and I honestly think that's absolutely disgraceful and unforgivable. We're gonna need an explanation from them ASAP, because right now, as everything stands with all the information we have from one side, from the victim's side right now, it's not looking good for Sony and PlayStation at all, and I hope that they do come out with a statement soon, hopefully somehow being able to justify what they've done, but obviously there is no true moral justification for covering up these crimes. I understand companies do want to protect their reputation, but from my perspective, I don't get this. I don't understand why these corporations feel as though they need to cover these terrible crimes up to this extent. I don't understand why they don't come out, say exactly what happened, and terminate the perpetrator immediately. It's absolutely, honestly foul, I think, that this is able to happen, that the victim is punished in the way that they lose their job, and the perpetrator is allowed to continue working at Naughty Dog no matter who they are. They're clearly relatively important to the studio if they are highlighted as a lead, but that shouldn't matter in the slightest at all. It shouldn't matter who the hell they are. Could be Jesus Christ for all I care himself. If he sexually harassed someone, he should also be terminated from his position. It doesn't matter. There's also been some absolutely horrible people online that have been accusing David of lying, of trying to game from what happened to him and the fact that he's not telling the truth and simply quote unquote jumping on the bandwagon. I think that's a terrible thing to say to someone. Obviously, there is always the possibility that they were lying and that they're simply doing it for their own gain. There's always that chance. But it's a chance, and I highly, highly doubt that to be the case. I truly believe David right now, and for people to so insensitively accuse him of such terrible things, honestly, it's just low. And it was fantastic that David came forward, and we should all be encouraging anyone who has received such abuse at any point in their life to also come forward as well. So this is certainly a huge development in our industry. It's something that has never really come to the forefront at all, so I do want to hear your thoughts on it in the comments section down below. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out some of my other content and subscribe if you like what you see. But that's enough from me. I'll see you all next time. Do take care, and farewell.